What if the secret to a longer, healthier life could be as simple as mastering this one little triangle? I have been cooking professionally for 25 years, focusing on performance and longevity for professional athletes and celebrities. And today I'm going to show you how this flavor triangle changed everything for me and my clients, and how this one simple principle can make anything taste amazing and possibly add 10 extra years to your life. First, let me show you what this triangle is and how to easily apply it to your daily diet. The triangle consists of 3 corners, obviously. The first corner is salinity, the second one is acidity, and the third one is sweetness. These are the primary elements of flavor in cooking in general. And to better show you how this works, I'm gonna use this one example. Imagine that flavor is like playing a drum solo, the bass drum. Deep, rich, and grounding. That's sweetness. It gives your food a foundation. And obviously not every dish should be sweet, but all dishes do have a level of sweetness, even if it's really mild. So think of carrots or bell peppers or tomatoes. The snare, sharp, punchy, and essential. That's salt. It brings everything together, and food would not be the same without it. And it's essential also for our health, for things like fluid balance, nerve function, muscle contraction, and blood pressure. And then the symbols, bright, exciting, and with the ability to cut through, that's acid. It makes flavors pop, it creates excitement in food, and without it, food would not be the same. It would be boring. And this is the part that only chefs know. Acid actually has the same job as salt, and I'll show you what that means in just a second. But think about this. If there's too much or too little of any of these ingredients, your dish is not going to taste very good, and it is going to discourage you from cooking, and you're going to end up relying on foods that you and I know are not the best for us. This is why the simple act of learning how to cook using this basic triangle can drastically change your health, potentially add many years to your life, and make those years a lot better. Which is super important, because who wants to live a long time if life is not going to taste delicious, right? So for that reason, I'm going to show you how to apply these triangles so you can cook anything and make it taste super delicious. And to do that, I'm going to show you these 4 examples. The simple salad dressing. For acidity, we'll use balsamic vinegar, which is also sweet, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Then I'm gonna add a bunch of extra virgin olive oil, and the formula that I'm using is 2 acid to 1 oil. And to make it more complex, I'm gonna roast some shallots. You can cut them in any shape, really. I like texture in my food, so this seems like a good size to me. Then I'll roast them until they're golden brown, but not burned. I'll add some salt now, so that will cover the salt part of this recipe, and then I'll add them to the oil and the vinegar mix. And to help it turn more creamy, I like to use Dijon mustard or an egg yolk. That works really great too, but today I'm just using the mustard. Then I'll add some blueberries that I seared on the same pan that I used to roast the shallots. And look at how cool this looks. It's beautiful. And at this point, just shake it really well and taste it. And if it needs one of the flavors from our triangle, then you can just adjust it from there by adding a little bit at a time, then tasting again, and then that's it.
Oh yeah, baby.
I think this one is perfect the way that it is, so I'm just gonna leave it right here. So the conclusion here is that olive oil and vinegar can be too sharp, especially if you're using red wine vinegar or something like that. But if you add a little pinch of salt, a little bit of honey maybe, or something sweet and savory like blueberry and shallot, then you'll have a balanced and delicious dressing. Roasted vegetables. I like to pre-cut and store my veggies in mason jars, just like this, because it's way faster and easier to make dinner for the rest of the week. But when I cook them like this, they're delicious on their own. But if you want to take them to the next level, I like to sprinkle a little bit of salt and then add a little squeeze of lemon on them, and that completes the triangle. Now I have an insanely delicious veggie dish to go with whatever I'm making for dinner tonight. And then grilled chicken breast, which by itself is good, but that's about it. And now on the other hand, if you remember our little triangle from earlier, it will tell you that we need to consider the 2 other flavors here. So acidity and sweetness are not present right now. So to make that work, I'm gonna make a salsa using some awesome pear that I found at the market today. Just slice it and then chop it up into little tiny pieces. And today I'm also using bell peppers because they also add sweetness to it, and cilantro and onions. Which reminds me, if you would like to see a video about knife skills, let me know in the comments. And then I add some lemon, a splash of red wine vinegar, and a tiny little bit of honey. And then I taste it. And like always, then I would adjust from here. And remember, all you have to ask yourself at this point is which of the flavors in the triangle am I missing? And then add a tiny little bit of that and then taste again. And that's the best part about cooking, is that you get to try it over and over again. And it's awesome. Cooking is awesome. You get to eat a bunch. When you understand the flavor triangle and you master it, you can make anything taste incredible using simple whole ingredients that fuel longevity and make you feel awesome. And if you're ready to start on that journey to mastering your health, in this video right here, I'll show you everything about the one food that fights inflammation, boosts energy, and keeps you young. And it is backed by thousands of years of ancient wisdom. I'll see you there.